Alright, so let's get a popper. Like, I met a girl today, she's like, oh, I've been smoking weed for 30 years, it hasn't affected me at all. I was like, what are you talking about? You live in a fucking teepee in Nimbin. I'm pretty sure that wasn't a sober decision. Also, you're wearing nothing except for cannabis leaves body painted onto your naked form. You're dancing to music only you can hear in the street. And this is the 5th time you said the same fucking thing to me. I'm pretty sure this shit does something to you. Let's not fucking forget.
I've already started learning stuff I didn't know. That the bud that you smoke, the cannabis bud, is actually the female part of the female genitals of the cannabis plant. So we're basically smoking plant pussy to get high. And I like to think in a parallel universe there's cannabis plants smoking human pussy to get high. Alright, we're here, we've got the Bong Lord, who is also a cannabis activist, but also is
I'm the Bong Lord.
I have no idea.
You guys know what ayahuasca is? It's like a South American shamanic fucking medicine, and I did ayahuasca, and this is what happened to me. I fell into like the collective unconsciousness, and then met the ayahuasca spirit, which was basically like this dancing being made out of twisting vines and peacock feathers. And she danced her way up to me, leant into my ear, and I was like, oh, holy shit, she's gonna tell me the secret to the universe. And do you know what she said to me? She said, stop doing so many drugs. And then she went off and started dancing in a black hole for about eternity, and I thought, no, this is fucking awesome. Why would I ever stop doing this?
Recording.
Well, so it's currently about 4 PM here at MardiGrass on the first day on the Friday, and I've sort of got to sussed out the kind of demographic that's here. We've got the activists, we've got the politicians, we've got the medical advocates and all that kind of stuff. But then we also got like the consumers, the people who are coming here for the festival, and there's sort of 3 different types I've noticed. There's like the kind of happy German backpackers who are like, yes, I'd be speaking perfectly of the English. And then there's the kind of hippie people who are like, man, it's all about love, man. And then you got the sleazy hippies, the 3rd type, where they're like, it's all about love. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm feeling your aura. You got a beautiful aura.
My friend recently got done for jaywalking. Doesn't that make you want to commit a real crime like assaulting a police officer? Like, I was thinking about our old school folk heroes. Who are our old school folk heroes? Fucking Ned Kelly. What did he do? He wore steel armor and he killed police officers. And everyone's like, yeah, we love Ned Kelly. Like, that would never happen in this day and age. If Ned Kelly was around now, there'd be fucking headlines on the Daily Telegraph just going, beware of the 6'3" Irish Muslim in the steel burqa destroying our freedoms. You know, so
behind me we have the official party poopers of Nimbin. I actually saw a pregnant undercover cop before, which I thought was interesting that they were pregnant. Like, is that how they can get away with assaulting you? Like, they arrest you and then, you know, she puts her unborn baby up to your head and then like the baby kicks you in the head. Is that how they can... I was just interested, is that a new thing the cops are rolling out? Yeah, it's kind of weird with the pregnant police officer. Like, when you get arrested by her, do you have to say, sorry, officers? Like, is the unborn baby also a cop? Yeah, I also wonder, do cops shave their pubes in the shape of a police badge? It's interesting. You know how like little babies love to grab your finger? It's like arresting you, whatever. Does the baby like also come out and grab part of you? You know, these are interesting questions. The complexities of pregnant undercover cops. We'll never get to the bottom of it.
I don't even know why they have a fucking cop station in Nimbin. What the fuck do they do all day? I think they're actually just undercover drug dealers, really.
We're here at the Nimbin MardiGrass, and we're here to campaign for the legalization of marijuana. Smoke bongs, mate. Don't make bombs, make bongs. Love each other, really. Everything is love. I think I've spotted a mushroom over there.
So I'm not actually a comedian anymore. Like I said, I'm actually a healer. And I've been noticing a lot of negative energy from this room, especially from you, sir. Do you mind if I heal you? Alright, no worries, okay. I'm just going to feel out your aura. Oh, it's got a nice aura. Oh, fuck. I haven't felt an aura like this before. It's nice and tight. Okay, I'm getting a psychic reading on your name. Not too loud, right? Okay, so I can read your name. Some sign with S. Shit, I'm getting a. Look, it doesn't matter what your name is, Sean. The point of matter is you're very sick, and I'm going to heal you. So I need everyone in on this. Clap. I got the keys to the kingdom, so the devil can't do me no harm. I got the keys to the kingdom, so the devil can't do me no harm. I got the keys, you ready? Dum-dum. So the devil won't do me no harm.
Dominion over my soul! You have no dominion over my soul! I hereby release you for all soul contracts!
So here we are at the Nimbin camping grounds. This is where all the pilgrims are setting up their tents before they go to Mecca, just up the road. And about 7 years ago, the first time I came down to MardiGrass, this is where I was staying, in a cheap Coles tent. And I made a classic rookie mistake. When I came here, I bought 3 hash cookies, and I had one, and I was like, oh, this isn't working. So I ended up eating all the other cookies, and it was maybe the second time I've ever been high. So I was like really fucking high. Like I started singing for 8 hours. Like I don't sing normally, but I couldn't talk, I could only sing. So I was annoying the shit out of everyone, but I was also having a great time. And then later that night, I started feeling sick in my tent, and I kept asking the guy I was with to come out and spot me while I had to take a shit, and he wouldn't spot my shit. Like he was like, no, go out there. And I'm like, dude, we're at night time in some unknown place, like who knows how many Captain Stabbies are out there. I need you to come spot me while I take a shit, right? Like he was happy enough. We were spooning, because we didn't prepare properly, we didn't have blankets, so we were spooning head to toe. I was like hugging his feet, and he was hugging because you know, we're guys and we're kind of like scared of any kind of like homoerotic activity, so we couldn't like spoon like properly. We had to spoon like holding each other's legs, because that wasn't gay unless you're gay and you have a foot fetish. But I don't know if he has a foot fetish, but he was very insistent that we spoon that way. But and then I kept asking him to spot my shit, and then he eventually came after I went outside the tent and vomited, right? And then he kind of walked me over to the toilet, and I was like taking a shit and vomiting, but I didn't have the strength to close the door, so the door was just kind of open, and he was laughing at me madly while I was kind of taking a shit. And like he said I was making like 3 different noises, and that's why it was funny. Like I had to like strain to try and do a shit, like I was like ugh! And then that would be very tiring. I didn't have the energy, so I had to breathe in, and then I would vomit, and so I was kind of like and just sort of that for about 15 minutes. And then I ended up at some other place telling people I was sick, and I was like, call an ambulance. And then my friend was like, no. And then some woman, some hippie chick was like, do you want me to do Reiki healing? I'm a level 5 Reiki healer. And I was like, yeah. She just kind of held her hands above my shoulders, and then like, you know, like not only was I sick, I then had the social pressure of like not wanting to ruin her illusions, because that's her identity as a Reiki healer. So I was like, oh, it's working so well, you know, because I'm a giver. I like supporting other people's delusions. So that was my first time here at Nimbin. So I look forward to never eat all the cookies at once, guys. Just wait about 2 hours if it doesn't hit, and then try another one.
So I'm actually going to quit weed after this festival, because day 3 is a bit like an anti-drug commercial, isn't it? Everyone's just fucking sketching out and paranoid. I don't think pot's such an amazing drug. I'm going to do anti-pot material while I'm stoned. That's the kind of act I am. Oh fuck, you know, the worst thing you want to do when you smoke pot is then just go stand in front of people who are looking at you. That's what I just realized. I'm like, this is really fucking I feel really self-conscious right now. I feel really paranoid. It's like I'm the center of attention, and there's like police around. This was the worst fucking idea, was to get stoned here. That's what I just realized. What the fuck am I doing in my life? I'm 35. I've just moved to Nimbin because I just fucking don't care anymore. My dreams are so dead, I'm liberated. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad they're fucking dead because they're like a ball and chain weighing me down. You know, when I was 15, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna become a famous comedian. Now I'm like 35, I'm just in a tent with a bunch of fucking drug-fucked people. I got $100 less than my agreed fee. I'm not complaining, guys. Any money's good money. I don't have
What happened with this tree here, Lorna?
Well, it was a pretty beautiful experience, Shane. What happened was there was a character called Ponder that came and visited us, and he...
What a great name.
I know. He thinks about things. I think that's in his nature. It was born with him, with his name. So he came here and he showed us this tree, and he had a beautiful smoke ceremony with the tree. He asked the tree if it wanted to get high, and then he breathed into its cracks his smoke, and he told us that he felt that the tree received his blessing with grace.
And what did you think when that was all going down?
Well, I felt like I should leave the room. You know, I felt like it was a really intimate moment, and he was making a good connection. He also touched the tree and wondered if it wanted to receive his piss as well. And that was quite beautiful. I thought it was really beautiful that he asked first, because I don't like getting pissed on without being asked first.
And what did the tree say?
Well, he said that the tree seemed open for it, but he needed to spend a little bit more time together.
So I went house sitting recently, because I'm a comedian, right? So there's a very fine line between comedian and just being fucking homeless. You know, like homeless people talk to me for no reason in the street now, like they can smell my potential. Like, I went camping recently, and I realized if you go camping, you need a place to live to go back to, right? Because if you just go camping and you don't live anywhere anyway, you're not fucking camping anymore, okay? You're just living in the woods for a while, waiting for things to get better.
It's like 10 minutes to 4:20, and all the masters are getting hungry. Alright, so we're at the chess tournament here at MardiGrass in Nimbin, and people playing chess while high. When I heard about the chess competition, I got excited, you know, because yeah, you know, they say MardiGrass, there's something for everyone, and there's a chess tournament, that's for losers like me, you know. Not everyone was getting laid in high school. Some of us were playing chess to escape from reality. So now I smoke weed to escape from reality. So now those two things can come together here at MardiGrass. I'm very excited.
It's good for you guys, isn't it?
I just beat someone who's like never played before, but I still feel incredible for it.
And I was living in Melbourne. I didn't think I was living in a dodgy area of the woods, but she said apparently, she was like, well, what would you know? You're a guy. You don't know what it's like to be a woman walking through that park to get to our house every night. I was like, oh, fair enough. And the next night, sure enough, there was a lady and she was walking in front of me. She turned around, she saw me, and I was like, oh my God, maybe she thinks that I'm fucking following her. And suddenly I knew what it must feel like to be a woman and to be afraid and scared all the time. So all I wanted to do was like walk up to her to like explain the situation, you know? So I started walking up to her. She saw that I was gaining on her, so she started walking briskly. I started walking briskly. She broke off into a trot. I broke off into a trot. Eventually I was just chasing her through the park at night. Eventually I get up to her, I like grab her by the shoulders, I shake her down to the ground. I'm like, hey, shut up, shut up! And I was like, look, I just want to let you know how emotionally threatened you must feel right now, okay? I understand that. And then she fucking pepper sprayed me, and suddenly I knew what it must feel like to be a sexual predator. Pretty fucking horrible, yet powerful.
So myself, I realised this when I discovered I had a pet cockroach. You see, what happened one morning, I came out and I saw a cockroach just floating there in the bog water. And you know what it's like in the morning, no one's there to judge you. So I thought, fuck it, so I had a comb. And it turns out the little fella was still alive. And I was just making a jacuzzi for him. a little bong aquarium for the cockroaches to swim around in. And then the cockroach tried to climb out of the bong, and I was inspired by that. I was inspired by the cockroach's will to live. And I thought maybe I could do more today than just smoke cones. So I went out and I tried to achieve life goals. And I came back that night and I saw the cockroach just dead there in the bong water. And I was like, well, if he's not going to try, fuck it, neither am I. So I had another cone. So I realised I was a winner. Thank you for the few people who are listening. I do appreciate your support. Bye-bye.